Hi everyone, welcome back. So I'm doing a foundation declutter today. I have been meaning to go through my collection and declutter it one by one on camera for a long time. So I have a ton of foundations. So I'm going to start with foundations because I feel like I have some that are old, some that I just don't wear and I'd like to pass on, and then foundations that I love, but they get lost in the shuffle. So I'm gonna go through all of my makeup and do decluttering series one by one, but today we are gonna be starting with foundations. Now I'm doing it on this like white plank, so hopefully this will work to show you, and hopefully the lighting's right and everything, but let's just get started. I have no makeup on today, so this is just a one by one foundation, and I'm not going to show my face because I'm just kind of chilling over here. Okay, I'm going to start with, this is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. I have the colors Classic Ivory and Buff. I just bought these. I really like them and I like the coverage. I'm going to be doing a full video on these, so they're brand new. I'm keeping both of these. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I love this foundation. I have the shade 104 Golden Beige. This is a, like my nails right now, just please ignore them. I bit them all off. I'm a really bad nail biting person. I love this foundation. It has a really great coverage. I think it's a great drugstore matte foundation. I'm almost done with it. It's pretty close to being empty. I really like this. This is a little bit dark for me. I probably need a touch lighter of a shade, but I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. I have two of the L'Oreal Infallible. I have shade 202 on the right and then 207. These were both sent to me. This is the Pro Glow, so it's like the sister of the Pro Matte. I really like this foundation. I actually like to mix the Pro Matte and the Pro Glow together. Sorry, I feel like there's like a really big glare, but it's hard to get the lighting right for this video. Hopefully it's gonna turn out all right. I love this foundation. Like I said, I like to mix the Pro Glow and the Pro Matte together. I find it gives a really great combination, so I'm definitely gonna be keeping both of these shades. I feel like this is great for when I'm a little bit darker. This is great for when I'm a little bit lighter, so I'm going to go ahead and keep both of them. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. I have the color Too Fair. This is extremely light. I liked the packaging. I liked the fact it has a really nice pump on it. The foundation itself just really looked bad on me. It was very patchy on my skin, and I just felt like it looked like foundation sitting on my skin. So this is going to be a foundation that I pass on because it's still within the expiration date. So someone else will be able to use it, but it's just not a foundation for me. This is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is the shade N115. I lost the cap to this one, but again, this is just not my favorite foundation. I don't like the way it looks on my particular skin, so I'm going to pass this foundation on to someone else. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Cover Foundation. This shade is Creamy Vanilla. It is one of my absolute favorite foundations. I'm definitely keeping this one, and as you can see, it's actually almost gone, so this can go in my empties, and I already have another foundation that I replaced because I love this so much. I also have that same foundation in the shade Rattan. It's a little bit darker, or Rattan, 2W2, so I use this when I am self-tanning. This is the Perricone MD No Foundation Serum. It expired 10/15. Why I hung on to this so long, I have no idea, so I'm definitely getting rid of this. It needs to be trashed. Okay, next up is this Kojendo Aqua Foundation. I love this. This is in the shade 123. This is definitely one of my favorite foundations. I will for sure repurchase this because I like the way it applies to the skin. It has really good coverage and it feels really nice. I am almost done with this foundation, so I'm going to keep using it, and then I would probably repurchase this when I'm done with it. Okay, this is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation. This is the with Comfort Serum. This is 200 Soft Beige. This is a little bit dark for me, and I've had this foundation for quite a while, so this is one that I'm going to trash. I really do like this foundation. I think it's a really great one from the drugstore. I like the finish on my skin, so this is definitely one that I would repurchase in the future, but I'm going to use up a few of my other foundations before I do repurchase this. Okay, I have two Garnier foundations. This one is for light medium, and this one is for light medium combination to oily skin. These are both probably out of date, so I'm going to trash these. I do like the Garnier BB cream. I like the coverage. The smell is the only thing that kind of bothers me in this BB cream. This one has 15 SPF and this one has 20. So I think this is like the oldest version, and then they like revamped it a little bit ago. So, but both of these are like really old. I don't even know the expiration, but they kind of just got like lost in the shuffle. Okay, I have these are the NARS. I cleaned them off because they got really dirty. These are the NARS Velvet Matte Skin Tints. They have broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen. I love these. I'm keeping all three of them. They're one of my favorite like go-tos. I like to mix them with products. I have Light Zero, which is Terre Nouvelle. I have Finland, which is Light 1, this middle shade, and then I have Alaska, which is Light 2. Depending on if I've self-tanned or anything, I use all three of these. They are definitely go-tos for me, so I'm going to keep all three. If you're looking for a really great foundation that is like almost like a BB cream, but it has a lot of coverage, but it gives you that really nice velvet matte finish, this is like an amazing product. I can't tell you how much I love this, so yeah, that's why I'm keeping all three of them. In this video, you will see I have an excess of foundation. I'm completely aware, but this is what I do. I get sent products. I buy products for review, so in that causes me to have an excess. I realize it's excess. If I probably didn't do this, I wouldn't have this many foundations, but I probably need to declutter way more often than I do. I found another Rimmel Lasting Finish foundation. This is in the color 100. This is a newer purchase than the shade 200 because I went through my first 100. So this is definitely gonna stay. Like I said, it's a great foundation. So I like to have it in 100 for when I am not tanning, and then if I have like a tan in the summer, I go to the shade 200. This is the Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation. I have the shade Y225. I think I'm gonna pass this along. This just doesn't have, let me just squeeze a little bit out. This just doesn't have like the coverage that I'm looking for. It's just too lightweight for me. It's just not my jam, and it's not that it's a bad foundation, it's just not for me. So this is gonna be one that I'm gonna pass on to somebody else. This is the Boscia BB cream. I love this BB cream, but unfortunately I have had this one for a really long time. Go ahead and throw this one away. I love, like I said, the Boscia BB creams. I think they're really great BB creams if you are looking for one with good coverage. It's just this one is old, so I probably will eventually repurchase this exact one. Another BB cream that I do love is this Dr. Jart. This is the Black Label Detox BB Beauty Cream. I love Beauty Balm. I love this one so much. It has a pump. That's what I really do appreciate it for sanitary reasons, but the coverage is really nice on this one, and I like the way it wears on my skin, so I'm definitely keeping this. This isn't that old. But when I want a little bit lighter of days, I do always kind of mix this in. I do a lot of mixing of foundations to like create my own cocktail, and so a lot of days I will mix this with a little bit more of like a drop of a higher pigmented foundation if I just kind of don't want to fully pigmented, but I just want a little bit more coverage. So this is a great one to mix for me, so I'm gonna keep this one. Okay, now I have these L'Oreal Lumi cushions. I am not a fan. I have N2 and N3.5. I am not a fan of the Lumi cushion foundation. I don't love cushion foundations. Everyone's been raving about the Maybelline one, so I'm gonna possibly give that one a whirl, but I haven't been too impressed. I don't like the coverage. I don't like the way it wears. It's a hassle for me to put on, so I'm gonna pass these two on. I've probably used them like a handful of times and I just didn't love them. I have two IT Cosmetics CC creams. One is a CC Illumination and this shade Light. They're both in the shade Light, and the other one is the Your Skin But Better CC Plus. Just a regular. I love these. I'm hanging on to both of them. I love the Illumination because it gives a little bit of that luminosity, but not too much. And I mean, I absolutely, like, this is definitely like a ride or die product for me. The IT Cosmetics CC cream, it's my favorite. It has amazing, it's full coverage. It has anti-aging in it, SPF 50. It's just a really great product. So I'm hanging on to both of these. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder Youth Boosting Perfect Skin Foundation. I have the shade 3 Fair. This foundation is one I go back and forth. I used to really like to mix it with like something else, but I just don't think that I love this foundation enough to keep it. I do think that this one might be expired, so I am going to throw this away, and I know that's such a waste because it seems like it's pretty full, but I think I've had it for quite a while. And I know I mixed it for a while. I had another color that I used fully up, but I just think this one is too old to keep. But I'm conflicted on whether I would repurchase it again because, like I said, I did love mixing it with other foundations, but I definitely don't like this one on its own. This is the Estee Edit Skin Glowing Balm. This is in the shade Wheat, 300 Wheat. I'm not going to keep this. I'm going to pass this along. It doesn't have a great amount of coverage. It doesn't wear really well. And I actually don't love this one for mixing because it just makes kind of my face a little bit greasy. Maybe if I had really super duper dry skin, this would be a great mixing foundation if you wanted to mix it with something a little bit more full coverage. But I just don't find myself using it enough, and it's definitely a newer product to me, so I'm going to pass it along to someone who might get some better use out of it. Okay, I have the Meteorites from Guerlain. This is the Baby Glow Light Revealing Sheer Makeup with Sunscreen and Anti-Fatigue Effect Baby Glow with Broad Spectrum SPF 25. I have this in 2 Clear Light. I don't like the scent. This does have a pump. I just wanted you to see what it looks like. It does brighten up the skin. If I went through this entire, I'm gonna keep it, but if I went through this entire thing, I probably won't repurchase this, but I do like it enough. I just don't love the scent. It is very brightening on the skin. Has more in person, more of a salmon effect. It's not really translating, but it has almost more of a salmon effect. So it does give a lot of brightening to the face. Okay, these are Bareminerals Complexion Rescue. I have 2 different shades here and I love them both. I have Buttercream, which is the original shade that I have, and then I have Vanilla, which was part of their shade extensions. What I really like about this is it gives a nice bit of coverage, but it also just blends into the skin really well. It doesn't kind of sit on top of my face. It really sinks in. I just really like the way it makes my complexion. It says it's a tinted hydrating gel cream, which I do feel like it is. It also has SPF 30 in it, which I really do appreciate. So I'm going to hang on to both of these. The Buttercream is a little bit darker, Vanilla is lighter, but I do like to mix both of them in with other things. I do like to wear them on their own when I want a little bit more lighter coverage, but they're really great products for someone who's not looking for full coverage or may who just be wanting to start into liquid foundation or has been using powder foundation and wants to start with something light. I would recommend this. Okay, Cover FX Natural Finish Oil Free Foundation. I really love this. As you can see, I'm like almost to the very end of it. This is definitely one I would repurchase. This is N25. I find this is a very thick foundation. I'm actually wearing this one today. It's a very thick foundation, so I like to mix it with some other type of product, either like a hydrating primer or something, or a drop of beauty oil, something that's gonna give it a little bit more of a thinned out consistency because it's extremely full coverage. But I really do like it, and a little bit goes a long way. Okay, these are the FX Custom Cover Drops. I have N25 as well in these. This is going to be a product that I'm going to toss because it's kind of old and I feel like it kind of breaks up and it just really doesn't serve its same purpose for how it did when I first started using it. I used it almost completely up, but the amount that I have left I feel like is a little bit compromised. I don't think I'm going to repurchase these. I don't love the fact of mixing in these with other products. I like to use a super full coverage foundation and mix it with like a glowing primer. I prefer that instead of these. I do feel like it mixed really well with products and didn't really change the consistency or texture of things, but just added coverage. But I don't feel the need for it, considering I feel like I can mix other products that I have and get the same look that I like. I have the Perricone MD No Foundation Serum. Look at the expiration on that. This is very expired. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss this because I haven't used it in a really long time. It kind of got hidden at the back. I used a lot of it up, as you can see. This is just kind of all a coating. It's almost completely empty. But I loved this back in the day, but I kind of steered away from it. I have moved on to other things, so I don't know if I would repurchase this, but I really did love it back in the day. So, I don't know, I'm like conflicted, but I just feel like I have so many other foundations right now, but this was a favorite of mine. This Serum one, the No Foundation, or Serum, however people say that. People always say it wrong. This is the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. I love this stuff. Again, it's a little bit more of a thicker product. It has SPF 15 in it. I actually don't know the shade that I have, but I do have the lightest one. This has an expiration date right here. It says 12 months. I've probably had this over 12 months, but it doesn't smell funny. I'm almost to the very, very end of it, and I really, really like it, and it was quite expensive. This would be something that I would eventually repurchase because I really loved it. It's very similar to the IT Cosmetics Illumination, the CC Cream Illumination. It's very similar to that, but I just really, really love this one. I like the consistency and everything. Has a nice pump as well, but I'm going to hang on to this and finish it up, and I might wait to repurchase it. This is a newer product to me, the CoverGirl Clean Matte. I got mine in 520 Light BB Cream for oily skin. I don't have oily skin. I don't know how I came across this, but it's not that old, so I'm going to go ahead and hang on to it. I really do like the coverage on this, so if you have oily skin, I really think that you would love this as a BB cream. This is a foundation from EX1 Invisiwear Liquid Foundation. This is the shade, what shade is this? F200. I prefer the F100. This is a foundation that I'm going to give up because it's probably past its expiration. It's like 2 years old. I did really, really like it. I like the coverage of it, but it's probably not going to be one that I repurchase just because I feel like I like other foundations more. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This foundation I love truly, madly, deeply. It's in the shade Linen. I don't know if they actually make this shade anymore. I probably need to toss this, but it's my perfect shade, and I don't think they make this shade anymore, so I'm like hanging on to it because it still has product. They took the SPF out of it like quite a while ago, so like I said, this is probably like gone bad, but it doesn't smell bad, it still works, and it doesn't break my face out. So I'm having a hard time parting with this one because this is like one of my favorite foundations of life. This is the Fit Me Matte and Poreless from Maybelline. This is a great foundation. This is for normal to oily skin. This is 128 Warm Nude. I am going to hang on to this, but it's not that old to me, so I'm gonna hang on to this one. I do like it, and this is one that I also like to mix with other foundations. This is definitely one of my favorite foundations. I busted the cap, so that's why it's like all on janky and stuff. This is in the color Fiji. This is NARS Sheer Glow. I love this foundation. It was in my favorites video. I'm definitely keeping it. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have mine in shade 5.5. This is almost gone. Like every time I squeege a pump out, it's like, the word squeege is so gross, but every time I get a pump out, it's like almost at the very end, it kind of is like it makes a sound. This is such an expensive foundation, but honestly, I mix this all the time. This is a darker foundation, so this is definitely a self-tanning color. I had a really hard time shade matching this to me, so I've always only had the darker shade. If I repurchased it, I think I would try and find a shade that matched me a little bit better so that I could wear it not just if I was mixing it, like just plain old wear it. It's definitely a good one, and I used it all up. So, but it's expensive. But I probably will repurchase it. These are two MAC Pro Longwear Crusty Old Foundations. I have NC15 right here, the light shade, and then NC25. I have no idea why I have NC25. I've never been NC25. I'm getting rid of both of these. These are so old. These are like 3 or 4 years old. They got stuck in the back of something, and I hate MAC foundations, and I never actually wore them. So like they have a ton of product in them. If I wore any of them, it was this one right here, and I didn't like it. So I don't recommend MAC foundations, period. Oh, my beloved Hourglass foundations. These are the Vanish. I have the shades Buff and Linen. This is Buff. It's a beautiful like yellowish shade. This is Linen. I use both of them equally. I love them and I highly recommend them. They're my favorite stick foundations ever. This is the Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. Very similar to that NARS foundation that I love. This is in 15 Ivory. I loved this. I love this. It's expired now, so I'm going to have to toss it, but this is a great one if you would like a dupe and you don't want to spend the money on the NARS foundation. This would be a great one. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. I'm super conflicted over this. This is in shade 3.0. Sometimes I love it, and then sometimes I feel like it looks horrible on my skin. I definitely don't think I love it just on its own. This is something I feel like I need to put a little bit more of an illuminating primer with it, and I just don't love it all on its own because I feel like it clings to some of my dry patches sometimes. Really depends on my skin for this one. I am going to still hang on to it, and if I don't use it within the next month, I'm going to get rid of it. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin Foundation. I just don't love this. This has, it's oil free, skin transforming. What shade do I have? I have the shade 20 Classic Ivory. I don't love this. I'm gonna pass this on. Actually, I probably should throw this away because I think it is a couple years old. I got this right when it came out, so it's probably 1.5 to 2 years old, and I don't really love it, so I'm gonna toss this. This was one of my favorite foundations. This is the Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua. This is my first high-end foundation I ever purchased. I have the shade 20 Beige is what I got, 20 Beige. I loved this. This is one you have to shake up and then squirt out. It's very like, let me just see if I can. Oh, there is still some left in here. I like almost used this up. It needs to be tossed because I got this like 4 years ago. I haven't used it in a while, but I almost like hung on to it for like sentimental purposes. I love the scent of this foundation, and I probably actually will repurchase it again just because I got like foundation everywhere. I probably will repurchase it again just because I love it so much, but it's definitely not a long wearing. It's definitely a lighter foundation. It gives a little bit of coverage. If you're someone who has the budget for it, this is a really great foundation. I know a lot of people used to love this. This is like the Aqua foundation back in the day, or the foundation that I feel like everyone used. But it's just older and I need to toss it. So yes, I will repurchase this eventually. Okay, I have another one of this Light Wonder foundations. I think I got sent one, or sent a couple after I had already purchased it. This is Too Fair. This one I'm actually going to keep because I didn't get sent this one as long ago as the other one that I purchased. This one is going to stay because, like I said, I was trying to decide if I was going to throw it away or if I would repurchase it again, but I do remember I like mixing this. This is the Tarte, what is this called? The Empowered Hybrid Gel Foundation Fair Light Neutral. I have a love-hate relationship with this. It smells really strong like roses. It's like a thick pudding texture. I do like it, but I think that by the end of the day, I don't love how it looks on my skin. And the smell is really hard to get over because it's such a like prominent rose scent. I think I'm gonna hang on to this, try and use it a little bit more, but I probably won't repurchase this. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation in 03 Light Beige. I love this. It's a great drugstore foundation. It has a pump. I just really like the way that this looks on my skin. This is a great foundation also to mix in with another like illuminating primer. I feel like it gives it a nice finish because it's a little bit thicker of a foundation, but I do really love this. Okay, this is the Lorac Professional foundation. This is the shade PR2. I don't love this foundation. I don't reach for it. I'm going to pass this along. I just don't think that I don't know if there's anything wrong with it, but it doesn't wow me, and I'm not using it at all, and it's not something that I specifically remember like, oh, this made my skin look good, so I'm going to pass this along. This LOREAL BB cream used to be my jam back in the day, but this is definitely an older one, so I think this one might be expired. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this one. I think the expiration date up top is like 2014 or something. So I haven't used it in a while, but it got caught at the back of a drawer. But I did really love this back in the day. I love the LOREAL BB cream, but this one's gonna go in the trash. Okay, this is a NARS foundation. Let me see. NARS Radiant Cream Compact Foundation in Light 3 Gobi. I think I used this like maybe once or twice. I didn't love this type of product, so I'm gonna pass this along. This Makeup Forever foundation is not my favorite. Again, this shade that I have is 117Y225. I might hang on to this one. It's not my favorite foundation. No, you know what? I'm not going to hang on to it. I have plenty of foundations. I'm going to pass this to someone because it's not old. I'm going to pass this to someone who would love it. Okay, I just saw these. I have this in, this is the CC Cream Illumination. I have it in fair and medium. I love this so much in the summer, and I like to use the fair, and then sometimes, like if I'm like super pale, I like to use the medium in the summer. This is just a great foundation. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to keep both. Even though I should probably part with one of them because I have I have 3 tubes of this, but I really love it. And it's a great one that I like to mix, so I'm gonna keep it. This is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra 24 Hour. This is in 210 Buff. I am going to keep this. I really do like this foundation. It's a great full coverage one. This is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. I feel like I like this and then I don't like this. I'm definitely, I don't know. This is in the shade Linen. I had a trouble finding the perfect match. I didn't absolutely love this on the skin. I was very conflicted. This was one that looked bad on me later in the day, so I'm gonna pass this along. Another Makeup Forever water blend. I'm gonna pass this along because I don't like it. Okay, we have another NARS foundation. This is the, what is this one called? The All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. And this is in the shade Light 6 Ceylon. I kind of liked this foundation, but I'm not wearing it, so I'm going to pass this one along. Another Makeup Forever HD foundation. I'm going to pass this along. I haven't had this one for a very long time, and it looks like a darker shade. It's Y215. So I'm going to give this to someone who might love it. This is the Benefit Bigger Than BB Big Easy Liquid to Powder. This is in the shade Light. I didn't love this. I used it a couple of times. I liked it okay, but it just wasn't for me. So I'm going to probably toss it. It's probably expired. I probably had this 2.5 years. This is from Glossier, and it is the Perfecting Skin Tint in Medium. I like adding this to certain foundations. It's a great mixing foundation. It kind of thins some stuff out. I really like the finish of it. It's a nice like lightweight coverage, but it's a really great product. But it's a little bit too dark for me unless I mix it with something. But I am going to hang on to it. These are something that got caught in the back of my drawer. This is a Rachel K Mineral Color Control BB Blemish Balm. These are super old. I probably wouldn't repurchase this because I like other things better, so I'm going to get rid of these. This is a Josie Maran Argan Tinted Moisturizer. This made my skin super duper greasy. I have light too. I remember liking it at one point and then like not liking it again because it like made me break out, I think. So I'm gonna toss this because it's old too. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Redness. I love this. This gives, it kind of neutralizes your skin. I probably need to repurchase a new one. This is a great product though if you have any type of redness, rosacea, anything like that. It really covers up and it leaves like a lightweight barrier, and then you can put foundation on top. has such great coverage. This is a great, great product. I think I'm gonna hang on to it. This is the MAC Studio Sculpt, and the shade is NW20. I haven't given this a fair shake. It's a really lightweight coverage. It's not supposed to be a super high coverage foundation. I really don't like MAC foundations. I feel like they aren't good for my skin. They make me break out, but I don't really think I've given this a fair shot, so I'm gonna hang on to it a little bit longer. If I don't use this, I'm going to definitely give it away before it expires. These are two Born This Way foundations from Too Faced. This foundation just absolutely did not work for me. I'm gonna pass these along. These are in the shade Porcelain and Warm Nude. I know I have two friends that love this foundation, so I'm gonna pass these to them. This is the Frankie Rose foundation. I have it in the shade of Vintage. I love this foundation. I don't use it enough because it's kind of been hidden, so I'm going to keep it and make sure I use it. This is a CoverGirl pump on a Estee Lauder Double Wear. This shade is in Fresco. This is old. I've used it all up. I need to throw this one away. I don't know why I still have it, but this is definitely the color that I would repurchase. I love this foundation. This is a Rouge Bunny Rouge foundation. I used it back in the day. I can't remember loving it or hating it. I think I really liked it. This is in Linen Cream. No, I really liked this. This is about 3.5 years old though, so I'm gonna have to toss it, but this is a really good foundation. I don't hear anyone talking about Rouge Bunny Rouge anymore, but I really loved that brand. This is another one I remember really liking. This is a Physicians Formula Youthful Wear Spotless. I was in the shade Light. I loved this. I think I did a demo on this. I'm going to toss this because I've had it for a while. Would repurchase it if I wanted a great serum foundation from the drugstore. This was kind of came along when the serum foundations were like a big thing. Okay, the Makeup Forever HD Ultra HD Stick Foundation. This is in the shade Y225, which seems to be my shade in Makeup Forever foundations. I'm going to toss this. Oh no, I'm gonna pass it along. It's not old, but I'm gonna give this definitely to a friend because I need to sanitize it and everything. I don't love the way this looks on my face. I don't love stick foundations. The only one I like is the Hourglass stick foundation. So since I'm hanging on to both of those, I'm gonna pass this one along. This is the e.l.f. BB cream. I'm gonna hang on to this because I haven't used it yet and I wanna do a full face e.l.f. video, and I think I might use this one. I don't know even what shade this is in, but hopefully it will work for me. So I'm gonna hang on to this because I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. Last foundation, L'Oreal True Match. I'm going to toss this because I've had it for a while. It is N3. This is a really good foundation from the drugstore. I really do like it. I probably would repurchase it again if I were repurchasing foundations. Okay, I started out with 78 foundations. I believe I counted that right. I'm gonna have to add it up and do the math at the very end after I show you what I've kept, but I think I had 78 foundations. These are the ones I'm keeping, and I'm keeping 39 foundations. So not too bad. Let me go over the ones that I am passing on and then the ones I am tossing. These are the 16 foundations out of 78 that I decided to pass along to go to Good Home. They're not expired. They're gently used, and I think that someone would really love them. So 16 foundations that I'm going to pass along. 23 foundations that I'm throwing in the trash. They're old, expired. I've had them for a long time. I pretty much don't think I'm a very good declutterer at foundations. I will use them up, or what I do is just put them in a drawer and forget about them. I know that sounds sickening that 22 of my 78 foundations are being still have product in them and I'm throwing away. What a wasteful person, I realize, but I'm definitely going to be better about, and I have been better, honestly. I've gotten rid of a whole lot that I didn't even declutter here that I've just passed along immediately. Recently, I've been trying to declutter and do really, really well and not keep stuff I know I'm not going to use. So this is a vow and a wake-up call to me also to do better and continue to do better about that. I know as a beauty blogger or vlogger, I get a lot of products sent to me and there's a lot of flow in, and I need to make sure there's a flow out as well. I feel good about the foundations that I'm keeping. Obviously the 33 are excess. No one needs that many foundations. I realize that. But I love them and I have them and I'm going to use them, so there's that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, seeing the foundations I'm going to pass along, throw away, and keep. And next, let me know what you'd like me to declutter. I think I'm going to do eyeshadow palettes. Let me know your feedback down below if you like these videos and if you think that I should declutter that. Leave your feedback down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already so that you don't miss any of these decluttering videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Mwah!